Would you rather run into your boss while wasted or run into your boss while high? I mean, if it's personal time, it shouldn't matter either way. I probably rather run into my boss while high. I think I'm slightly more controlled while high than I am while wasted. And, I might be a little giggly. And by the way, I very rarely have gotten high or wasted. I like control a little bit too much. Don't get me wrong, I have used weed. I use it for anxiety issues and also for a little bit of pain management some days, but very, very rarely. I probably use it only once every 4 or 5 months. Like it's very rare that I use it. But yeah, I would say high just because I think I would be able to control that situation and seem more normal while high than if I was wasted. Would you rather find true love or cure cancer? In this one, so it's the selfish versus the save the world from pain. In this one, actually, believe it or not, I would choose to cure cancer. I don't actually believe that we will ever be able to cure cancer, or let me rephrase that. I think cancer will continue to happen because cancer is just a cell's reproduction going wrong. And that can happen at any time in anyone. I think we may be able to find ways where if it is detected that we will be able to cure it, but that doesn't mean that it won't come back somewhere else. That doesn't mean that it won't happen again in that same person. So I don't think we're actually going to be able to quote unquote cure it, but we will be able to potentially fix it when it's detected. So in that case, I would say cure cancer. I have had a lot of people in my life affected by cancer. So I've lost a couple friends to cancer too, actually. So yeah, I would say cure cancer. Would you rather look like a child but have the mind of an adult, or look like an adult but have the mind of a child? Oh. I think personally, and I don't think this would be the choice that most people make, I would rather look like an adult but have the mind of a child. And here's why. A child's mind is amazing, especially before we destroy their imagination. A child's imagination is one of the most powerful things I believe personally. It's funny, I used to perform magic shows. I used to do corporate magic shows, and I used to do kids' parties, and I used to do stuff at the public libraries and for day camps in my city. And the interesting thing was that whenever I did a kids' show, they would figure out how I did almost every trick, to the point where I had to be very, very tricky and put a twist at the end of most of my tricks, and also get tricks that had a twist at the end of them so that they thought they knew how it was done, but at the end I showed them that, oh no, look, see, this is totally different now. Adults never are able to figure out the magic. There's something amazing about a kid's imagination that we just get beaten out of us in school and in life generally. And I would love to have that imagination back. All right, next question. Would you rather sell all of your possessions or one of your organs? I mean, it would depend on which organ it was. I mean, technically you can get away with one kidney. And I think you actually can make some money on the black market. Don't do that, by the way. Don't. That being said, I think the organs we have in our body are for a reason. I think we're supposed to function with all of our body intact. I know there are some organs we have that are like evolutionary throwbacks that we don't theoretically actually need anymore. That being said, I would probably rather sell all of my possessions. So yeah, I mean, because you can you can eventually, like, I'm assuming you're in a rough time. Not that I have much value in most of my possessions, but if you're in a rough time, I would sell my possessions because you're not going to be in a rough time forever. Things will get better at some point, and you can buy it all back, basically, or buy new. Would you rather kiss Boris Johnson or Donald Trump? I'm not. So I know who both of these people are. I'm Canadian, by the way. If Justin Trudeau was on this list, he would be the last person I choose. But I'm not sure. But every time I see Boris Johnson, I feel like it's more of an act. I think Donald Trump is just an idiot, or definitely a buffoon more than anything else. I think he talks out of a certain body part a lot. And I think Boris Johnson is more of an act where he's trying to look like the idiot, but actually isn't. So I might go with Boris Johnson in that case. Obviously, I would rather kiss neither, but if I had to, Boris Johnson. Plus, he's further away in the end, so if I kiss him and return back to Canada, I have less chance of interaction later. So, yeah, we'll go with Boris Johnson. Would you rather forget who you are or forget who everyone you know is? Okay, so I have this problem already, sort of. I have memory issues. It comes with the territory with mental illness. It has affected my memory centers in my brain. A lot of people don't realize this, but when you have mental illness, it can actually damage parts of your brain. And damage pathways in your brain, and mine, for whatever reason, it's just been the memory centers. There are some days where I barely remember anything. Others that I'm better with, but other days are better. But I mean, I would rather forget who I am, because then I can rely on the people I know to tell me who I am and what I've done and stuff like that, I think, in this case. Would you rather be forced to eat only spicy food or be forced to eat incredibly bland food? I love spicy food. I'm assuming they mean super spicy food, but I actually really enjoy spicy food, like I said, so I hate when something's bland. My family is British, comes from England, and they know how to do bland very, very well. Seasoning to them is salt, and that's it. If that. So yeah, I'd rather eat the spicy food. Would you rather have no fingers or no elbows? Interesting question. I think I'd rather have no elbows. Because if you have no fingers, it would be hard to do a lot of things. If you have no elbows, your arms would be basically stuck like this, right? Because you couldn't bend them. But you could still do things like that. You would just have to move like this, and you'd still be able to grab. You'd still be able to type on a computer or play a game. It would be a lot harder to do, obviously, but I think that would be better than not having fingers and not being able to do anything. Would you rather live in isolation or face your biggest fear once in a month? So, I have good arguments for both of these, actually. So, when COVID struck and the lockdown happened in Canada and in Ontario, where I live, I actually thrived. That's when I started to lose significant weight because I started working out. Everyone else gained a lot of weight, or a lot of people I knew actually gained. Like there was a COVID-15 or whatever where you gain like 15 pounds. That's when I lost my 70 pounds or started to lose my 70 pounds. I'm a natural introvert. I have always been an introvert. I like peace and quiet. I don't necessarily like super public settings. I also have social anxiety, so if I'm in a crowd or even in a gathering where there's a bunch of people, I always feel anxiety in those situations. Even if it's everyone I know, it still like overwhelms me to a point. And so I like being in quieter areas. I would much rather like have a couple friends over every day or every little while, than have one big party a month type of thing. So that's what I would personally rather do. Then again, if you face your biggest fear once a month, that makes you stronger. Because if you face your fears, it helps you get over your fears. So I don't know. I've been trying to face my fears actually more in the last couple of years. One of them being putting myself out there and posting my opinions on YouTube. So that's why that's one of the reasons I'm doing this channel. So I think for growth, I would have to choose face your biggest fears once in a month. That way you gain personal growth every month and you become stronger overall. Would you rather kill someone and have nobody know, or not kill someone but have everyone think you did? I would rather not kill someone and have everyone think you did. I very rarely care about anyone's opinion anymore of me, and I would know the difference, and that's all I would need. I am against murder. There are some exceptions and there's some nuance, but just as a quick kind of like statement, I'm against murder in general. I think most people would agree with that, but I don't think there are very few good reasons for killing someone. And like I say, I would have to get into the nuance and the examples of those reasons. Would you rather butcher your own meat for the rest of your life or never eat meat again? Okay, I think I'm going to end on this question because I've got enough for 2 videos here, so I'll just chop it in half and we will go from there. Interestingly enough, the last big series I did on my channel was all about Earthlings. And the last video in that series, I'll put it in the info bubble above if you want to check it out. It's basically a video where I discuss, in the best case scenario where money and resources are not an issue, what would I eat and how would I get that food? I won't go into all the detail of that video, but basically I would personally have a farm and I would raise cows for my own consumption, not to sell to supermarkets or anything like that. I would just use that meat. I would raise the cows and then use that meat to feed myself. I would be as self-sustained as possible. I would grow vegetables as well. I would have some chickens to have eggs. So that's what I would do personally. I would I would be the one killing and butchering the cows. So that's what I would do. I've actually tried being vegan. Now this was a long time ago actually. This was while I was in university, which was almost a lifetime ago, it feels like now. But it was not at a time where being vegan was as easy as it is today. I had a friend at the time who was also vegan, and we would go to restaurants, we rarely did because it was so horrible for him. He would have to ask the server, basically beg and plead the server, can I get a salad? Can I not have dressing on the salad? And can you make sure that the cooks put no cheese, no croutons, and no bacon in the salad? And he would come back and there would be cheese, or there would be croutons, or there would be bacon. And he's just like, and that was at a point where you couldn't get a vegan meal. Now 99% of restaurants have vegan, at least a couple vegan options. So I did try it. I planned to do it. It was my goal to do it for a month. I couldn't get that far. I felt so miserable after 2 weeks that I couldn't do it. So I went back to eating meat at that point. I might try again in the future at some point, but for now I am okay with eating meat. If I'll put this video in the bubble as well, but in my conclusion to Earthlings, I think it's called like Conclusion and Open Letter to Vegans, I explain why I feel like killing an animal is not wrong. Again, it's based on a specific set of circumstances, whether it's wrong or right, in my opinion, to kill an animal. And I go into all of that in that letter. So if you want to see that, check that out as well. So that's going to be it for this this video. Before I go, I want to leave you with this. I want you to know that you do an amazing job of being you. I hope you have a good one, and I will see you in the next series of videos, which is going to be all about religion. So I'll see you then. Bye-bye.